Very good. I am having a really slow moment. Shahi, turn that down, please. I was typing that in the wrong spot.
All right. Turn it. Turn it down.
I hope people are going to start coming in here. This thing is still not letting me. Okay, I was about to say it's still not letting me type in your name. Hey, everybody, we're doing a little bit of testing real quick to do a live. We're getting ready to read myself and Brother B.A., a very, very good community builder and thinker. We're getting ready to go ahead and talk and have a little build on the 48 laws of power. Shaheed, y'all, I'm not about to pay somebody to come and babysit Shaheed while I do these doggone podcasts, because this little boy loves to come in here and make a fuss while I'm trying to do what I'm doing. Hey, what's up, K Slays? Y'all, I don't know how many good men follow my page, but y'all better get up on some of my female followers. Miss Kayla D ain't playing no games out here. I call her K Slays because she slays all day. I better tell y'all. Okay, so let me see. I don't know how to type in your name on this thing so that I can find you. Can somebody please give me a tutorial on how to add somebody to my live on here? Because every time I try to do it, it just does not work, and it makes me feel old. It makes me truly feel like I don't know what I'm doing, because I be trying to prepare for this. Well, Miss Lady, you are definitely on the way. Definitely on the way. I wonder if I don't even have anything prepared the way I'm supposed to right now. So you still don't see it, Brother B.A.? See, that's what I was talking about. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna work. I mean, we can still do the live with just audio. You don't have to have your video on here. I can. That's fine. I just want to make sure that we heard. Yes, you could definitely be heard. Y'all, forgive us for the technical difficulties. Let me see. Wait a minute. I have to have my shoulders showing. That's not gonna work.
We can just tap in real quick and just get into the information. Most definitely, so good.
Okay. All right, you guys. Here we go. We're gonna be doing a quick talk. I don't know if it's gonna be quick, but we're gonna do a talk about the 48 laws of power. And so what I'm gonna do is read out to you what the law of power is. And then Brother B.A. and I will have a discussion about it, because there really is a lot of value in unpacking things and making sure that there is some practical sense made. Excuse me while I kick this baby out of my office. Johnny, get out. Go in the room, please. Go in the room with your game. You're making too much noise while I'm trying to do what I'm doing. Okay, thank you. Yes, please go in the room and just stay in there. Why do they teach babies how to talk? As soon as they start talking, that's when they become like your enemy. But anyway, all right, so we're gonna start.
Hello, sis, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, Brother B.A.
Sound like your phone kind of muffled, or you're distant far away.
I do still?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Oh, okay, yeah, I think I might have had my hand over the phone.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Most definitely.
All right, so y'all, the law number 27 is the one that we're going to highlight today. Law number 27 is a very tricky law, because it's one of those things that are used against us and we don't necessarily know it, and we're not aware of it. But once you start to read it and understand what the concept is, then you start to realize it everywhere, how it's being used against you. And so our hope today is that we can make some practical sense out of these writings, and we can make it plain to you in such a way that you'll become aware of how to take your power back, because these are, to me, manipulation tactics. So law number 27, it reads like this: play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. Did you hear that? That is written on paper. It says underneath that, judgment. People have an overwhelming desire to believe in something. Become the focal point of such desire by offering them a cause, a new faith to follow. Keep your words vague, but full of promise. Emphasize enthusiasm over rationality and clear thinking. Give your new disciples, they call it disciples. Y'all got to read, man. Give your new disciples rituals to perform. Does that sound familiar? Ask them to make sacrifices on your behalf. In the absence of organized religion and grand causes, your new belief system will bring you new untold power, or it will bring you untold power. Now, that said a little to say a whole lot. If you were paying attention, you heard a lot about how we live right now in those words. So I'm going to skip down. If anybody has this book, you'll see that there's a lot of preface to where it starts to give you the steps on how to implement this type of law, or how to implement this type of control. So the first step that it gives reads like this: keep it vague, keep it simple. That's just a reiteration. To create a cult, you must first attract attention. This you should do, or wait a minute, this you should do not through actions, which are too clear and readable, but through words, which are hazy and deceptive. Now, if that don't sound like most mega church preachers in all of the Christian world, I give it up. If that ain't Joel Osteen, I give it up. If that ain't Joyce Meyer, whatever that lady name is, I give it up.
The Doctor of Prosperity.
Yes. Keep it vague and keep it simple. They are the masters of this law. If that ain't a mega church preacher, I give it up. It says your initial speeches, conversations, and interviews must include two elements. On the one hand, the promise of something great and transformative, mega church, and on the other, a total vagueness, mega church. You have no idea what your religion is doing for you. It's very vague. If you ask everybody in the church what church is doing for them, it's going to be a different answer every time. I say that every time. There's no unity in thought, no unity in spirit at all. Everybody's getting something different out of it. It's vague. And then, okay, so it reads on to say this combination will stimulate all kinds of hazy dreams in your listeners, who will make their own connections and see what they want to see. If that's not a mega church, I give it up. Everybody in religion sees what they want to see. Everybody. Oh, let me keep reading. Oh, to make your vagueness attractive, use words of great resonance, but cloudy meaning. Words full of heat and enthusiasm. Fancy titles for simple things are helpful, as are the use of numbers and the creation of new words for vague concepts. That sounds like branding, to be honest. Oh my God. All of these create the impression of specialized knowledge, giving you a veneer of profundity. Profundity. Did I say that right, Brother B.A.? Are you reading along with me?
Yeah, I'm reading along. Yeah, that's profundity. That's what it looks like.
Profundity. That's a stupid word. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I feel good if you can't tell. I've been sipping on my little wine. But anyway, by the same token, try to make the subject of your cult new and fresh so that few will understand it. Done right, the combination of vague promises, cloudy but alluring concepts, and fiery enthusiasm will stir people's souls, and a group will form around you. Now, if you talk too vaguely and you have no credibility, wait a minute. Talk too vaguely and you have no credibility. Okay, that's making a statement. If you talk too vaguely, you'll have no credibility. But it is more dangerous to be specific. If you explain in detail the benefits people will gain by following your cult, you will be expected to satisfy them. As a corollary to its vagueness, your appeal should also be simple. Most people's problems have complex causes, deep-rooted neurosis. Oh, interconnected social factors, roots that go way back in time and are exceedingly hard to unravel. Few, however, have the patience to deal with this. Most people want to hear that a simple solution, oh my goodness, will cure their problems. Oh, this is about to make me cry, y'all. The ability to offer this kind of solution will give you great power and build you a following instead of the complicated explanations of real life. Don't get too complicated. Return to the primitive solutions of our ancestors, to good old country remedies, to mysterious panaceas. These book got up some words for you. I'm gonna assume that says panaceas. All right, brother BA. Let's dig into it. That's the first step.
Wow, that's man.
Powerful.
That's all that right there. That's what a few paragraphs, and you see a lot can be covered just in one step.
Man, we could talk the whole hour about that.
And what I wanted to do, I was looking at the dictionary. I looked at the word cult, and I wanted to look at it. It's various definitions, but here's one that really stands out. This is from the Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary, and this is the fifth one that stands out. Well, let me just read from the top. Formal religious veneration. The second definition, a system of religious beliefs and ritual. Also, its body of adherents, a religious regard as unorthodox or spurious. Also, it's a body of adherents. A system of the cure of disease based on dogma set forth by its promulgator. But here's the one I like. A great devotion to a person, idea, or thing. Such devotion regarded as a literary or intellectual fad. A usual small circle of persons united by devotion or allegiance to an artistic or intellectual movement or figure.
Mega church preachers. That's the only thing that keeps coming to mind.
Man, and you know the other thing that comes to mind? Let's kind of tie them in both. Let's look at the dude in office, Donald Trump. And his cult-like following. Great again. How many people agree with him? How many people stand out and actually really believe that America at one time was actually great?
Right.
And when he says to make America great again, when you hear that, Sister Reese, what's the first thing that's on your mind when he says that?
The first thing that comes to my mind is wanting to revert to antiquity, of basically unashamedly discriminating, not trying to hide it anymore, not trying to apologize for the wrongs that are being done, but to justify them in whatever way necessary to continue them going on. That's how I feel Donald Trump imagines America being great again when I hear that.
Now, according to one of the definitions, I'll read it again. A great devotion to a person, idea, or a thing. This devotion regarded as a literary or intellectual fad. A usual small circle of persons united by devotion or allegiance to an artistic or intellectual movement or figure. Wow.
Yeah.
There's a small amount of people that that actually agree with him. And for some reason, this thought about America, let's make America be great again, is starting to spread like wildfire all over the media. It is a cult-like following, because it's not like he has a great following, but as you can see, that this small group of individuals who support him, they are magnified through the lens of the camera.
Agreed.
So, and you see his words, he's vaguely talking. Donald Trump is a public figure. His message can most definitely be debunked. But like I said, it says don't get too complicated. Does it not say that? The last few sentences says, instead of the complicated explanations of real life, return to the primitive solution of our ancestors. Two good old country remedies to mysterious panaceas. If that's the way, panaceas?
I call it panaceas. That's the best way.
So let's go back to the way of thinking before we were being rational, before we were thinking way too deep on certain things, before we thought before we believed that everybody else was human beings, only one group of people was human beings and everybody else was beneath us. Let's go back to the days of before the labor movement, when the CEOs of these businesses controlled everything and the workers got treated like crap, which is not much of a difference today, but still, no labor laws. Let's abuse the workers. Let's pay them a couple of pennies on the dollar. That type of thinking. When the laws benefited just those who had wealth. That small group of individuals, that small circle of people who own things, who own wealth, and the majority of us, we just gonna have to just do what we can. When I hear Donald Trump's message, his message is only for a certain group of people, a small circle. And then we can also tap into the Hebrew Israelite way of thinking. Let's look into this step one again. It says, let me go back into it. To create a cult, you must first attract attention. Now, before we get in too deep, I'll let people know I come out of the Hebrew Israelite movement. I am still a believer in a way. I understand. I believe in the Word of God, which is known as the Bible. I believe that it's a powerful book, and I believe that it's meant to be applied. I'm not into religion. Religion is a weapon of the state, which is controlled by man, and they use it to abuse people. So my goal is to read the Bible and to become one with the Spirit, and that force that has. Well, how should I explain that? The force or the God that people will say. I believe that God does exist. So I'm not bound to doctrine as certain other cults or camps or churches are bound to. It's about applying and living it for me personally. But I just want to go back to it. To create a cult, you must first attract attention. I'll say maybe 10, 12 years ago when I first heard the brothers on the street corners, it's very powerful to hear, especially our people, when it comes to being lost or knowing our history started from slavery, living in America. It's not commonly taught in the school system that we had a history prior to slavery. That's not taught. I mean, you may hear it every so often through other outlets, other people who may speak it in the streets, or families who may have the benefit of teaching their children. But it's not commonly taught for a lot of our people to know what happened prior to slavery. And then all of a sudden you hear these brothers who talk about, we the children of Israel, we the people of the book, we the Jews, we the Hebrew Israelites. That's very captivating. A man by the name of Polite, I remember he said it years ago, to hear that message for a young black man most definitely is motivating. To hear that he's all of a sudden, or he or she, all of a sudden now we know that we are the people of the book, that we are these people, these chosen people that God spoke to first. That's how you get attention.
Okay.
Very, very powerful.
Okay. So I think what I'm hearing you, where I'm making that connection with the Hebrew Israelite sort of their structure and how it relates to this, I can see that they are doing exactly what everybody else does when subscribing to religion, in the Hebrew Israelite way, and they're just seeing what they want to see in it because it's so vague. And I think that's where we all are starting to fall apart, where we're not wanting to get to the root of the vagueness when it comes to how we believe and follow. Something is just missing when a concept comes off vague. And this last sentence where it says, instead of the complicated explanations of real life, return to the primitive solutions of our ancestors, to good old country remedies. Now, I believe, well, let me skip back up one more sentence where it says, however, few, however, have the patience to deal with this. And most people want to hear that a simple solution will cure their problems. Now, we have all kinds of deeply rooted neurosis, like the book says, interconnected social factors. All of our social factors are interconnected. And I think that's the reason why they came up with the term conspiracy theorist, because when we have interconnected social factors, one depending on the other. Now, if you go into an experiment, you'll learn about what a dependent variable is. But our dependent variables are all connected. Everything depends on something else, which depends on something else. And so, because our social factors are interconnected like that, they're able to say, oh, that's just a conspiracy theory because this person can't, I mean, all of these things can't be connected socially. Everybody's blaming everything on the man. Everything can't be a conspiracy, or everybody can't be plotting on you. And it's like, yes, it can. Yes, it surely can. If you can understand the root, and see, that's where you can tell where people do not want to go that deep. Sometimes when people don't have the patience to unravel their own thoughts, they fall into this laziness of thoughts to where they abandon it altogether. They never revisit it again. They never consider the misunderstanding. They never consider the lack of understanding. So when you got a person that is starting to realize, oh, my brain is just tired of thinking of this, I'm just going to throw it to the side and not go there anymore with myself. Then we start to fall into having people following and believing instead of being a leader and knowing. Those are two different things, way two completely different things. And you cannot be a leader and a person who knows when you're going by vague and simple information or vague and simple communications from other people. It just doesn't make any sense. This thing says the roots go way back in time. And they do. They're exceedingly hard to unravel. That's the reason why your life, as you progress, exceedingly gets harder and harder. Every lesson that you're supposed to learn, it gets harder and harder to graduate in life, the stages, because that's what's going on. We have to unravel these things. But because we're so lazy to go back in time by going all the way through our thoughts, all the way down to the root of a thing, we're too lazy to do that. So we get overtaken by other people who are not too lazy to do it. They know the root of problems. They know the root of social issues. They know that social factors are interconnected. They know that. And they're not too lazy in their minds to figure that out, however long it takes. And so step number one is definitely a huge step for our people, if you ask me. We got to stop being lazy in our minds.
Most there. And I'm going to go to the third sentence. It says, your initial speeches, conversations, and interviews must include two elements. On the one hand, the promise of something great and transformative.
Ooh.
Man, so we can look at so many examples. I'll go back to since I mentioned the Hebrews. My experience, even to this day, come back to the commandments, which I have no issue with. But they also will tell you, or they have it to where they blow people's heads up, or they provoke you to think that you're better than every single body on earth. Because the he chose you first. So now all of a sudden, it says, promise of something great and transformative. And the other, total vagueness. This combination will stimulate all kinds of hazy dreams in your listeners who will make their own connections and see what they want to see.
Mm-hmm.
What do they want to see? What the individuals are pointing out to them. You're better than everybody because God talked to you first and he gave you these laws and these statutes and commandments to keep.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone is beneath you. You are superior.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Right there is transformative to the average person or to the layman who's listening to it, who's not aware of the Bible message. And again, I'm going to repeat, I'm not speaking against the word. I'm speaking against the tools and the tactics that abusers use to use the word for their own pleasure. That's what I'm doing here.
I fully agree.
Any questions, sis?
I fully agree. I think that that's, again, something that we have to be mindful of is that you ever watched the infomercial and been mad as hell by the end of that infomercial because you feel like you just sat there and wasted 30 minutes of your time seeing a bunch of nothing? You know, you're trying to learn about the product and they don't tell you nothing about it. They just kind of go on and on about how great this wonderful thing is going to be. That's going to change your life in 50 seconds. And you're like, okay, how? What is it going to do? And you never get anything but, you know, when they start the 4 different payments of $19.95, they get straight to the money, but still haven't told you what the value is. Or what is the transformation going to be? How is this thing going to work? What is it doing? You just want some money. And it's like, dang, that's exactly how that stuff, you know, how it goes. But anyway, I'm going to move on to the second step just for the sake of time. Because like we said earlier, we could probably go on and on and on talking about these things. So number 2, emphasize the visual and the sensual over the intellectual. No, that don't already speak volumes for itself. I ain't even got to read no further, my fellas. My brothers. I'm just playing, y'all. Okay. Emphasize the visual and the sensual over the intellectual. Thank God I didn't fall victim to that. Once people have begun to gather around you, 2 dangers will present themselves: boredom and skepticism. Ooh. Boredom will make people go elsewhere. Skepticism will allow them the distance to think rationally about whatever it is you're offering, blowing away the mist you have artfully created and revealing your ideas for what they are. Excuse me, I was just drinking water. You need to amuse the bored, then, and ward off the cynics. The best way to do this is through theater or other devices of its kind, acting. Surround yourself with luxury. Dazzle your followers with visual splendor. Oh, if that's not Instagram. Oh my God, they just took it right out of the book and just made an app out of it. I mean, God, how much more accurate can you be? I mean, that's Instagram that I just read about. I'm going to read it again. The best way to do this is through theater. A whole bunch of actors. Every person with a page, everybody with a page on Instagram acted. Oh, let me get into it. Or other devices of its kind. Surround yourself with luxury. Dazzle your followers with the visual splendor. Fill their eyes with spectacle. Oh, give them something to look at. Not only will this is crazy.
This is our society we live in.
This is how we live in, y'all. Straight out of a doggone book. Not only will this keep them from seeing the ridiculousness of your ideas, the holes in your belief system, it will also attract more attention, more followers. WTF. I want to pull my hair out right now. WTF.
Why you think it goes? Hold on, let me kindly interrupt you.
Yes.
Like that last sentence on page 217. You need to amuse the board, then and ward off the cynics or the critics.
Yes.
That's why they're saying stay away from the critics, because this image, this theater you're projecting That's what I mean. Look, what does it say? The steps emphasize the visual and the sensual over the intellectual.
That's right.
Who are the intellectuals? The critics.
Exactly. Ooh, and see, that's the thing. Everybody they want to call you a cynic and a hater instead of a constructive critic. Because if you're staying away from all of your criticism, that's no, you're acting. You still on here?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was about to say I thought I lost you. Okay, where was I at? Oh, appeal to all the senses. Use incense for scent, soothing music for hearing, colorful. Oh, my mouth get tied up sometimes. Colorful charts and graphs for the eye. You might even tickle the mind, perhaps by using new technological gadgets to give your cult a pseudoscientific veneer. As long as you do not make anyone really think, use the exotic, distant cultures, strange customs to create theatrical effects and to make the most banal and ordinary affairs seem signs of something extraordinary. But AKA sitting at the dinner table and you're snapping a photograph of a salad and making it look super luxurious. It is absolutely nothing, but it goes viral. You have people liking, sharing, and all this other stuff. Pictures of food. Pointlessness. Making it seem extraordinary.
Is that not a cult-like following?
Cult. That's exactly what it is.
And so much is coming to us as we read it and we speak. It's one thing to read it on your own.
Yeah.
And then when a brother and a sister gets together, and what you call this? You say we brain couple, or we're brainstorming and we're building, and all of a sudden everything is starting to come out now.
Yes.
Instagram, Facebook, ain't that it?
Oh yeah. I mean, you can. This stuff jumps off the page if you're aware. It jumps off the page. I mean, when I read this, the only thing I can think of is social media. Emphasize the visual and the sensual over intellectual. I mean, the media can be compared, but to me, I think social media is more accurate when it says emphasize the visual and the sensual over the intellectual, because you have both groups fighting for attention on social media. Now, the media itself, to me, is mostly geared towards selling products and services. But on social media, you're there to share your thoughts, share your experiences, share what's important to you. You're there to, really network. So it's a little different when you consider it social media versus entertainment media or other forms of media. So for me, this is specifically talking about social media, where the intellectual is drowned out by the emphasis of visually sensual things.
I agree. Most definitely.
It's a little different. And I think especially, oh my God, I feel like this is just completely indicative of Instagram. It says use the exotic, distant cultures, strange customs to create theatrical effects. You know how many people will go through to great lengths to travel to very exotic places, going to distant places so that they could take a picture?
Yeah, most definitely.
And that's the overarching goal when you're there. It's not to go there to really truly experience, to really, stay there, live there, learn the language, learn the culture, study anything, research anything. It's just there to go, turn up, party, and come, take some pictures and come back.
Most definitely. It seems like the like button just does something to people.
It does.
It does something to the mental.
That affirmation, maybe.
Yeah, and that's why the critic has to be thrown off, because you're enamored with the likes. Mm-hmm. You're enamored by the attention you're getting, and you're presenting as if you're living this perfect life, mm-hmm. because you went outside and you took a picture while you were at the beach, or like you were just saying, this person takes a picture of a salad and they doctor it up real nice, and
Yes.
they're promoting that they eat the best. They eat so healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
these things that our society, or these things that we see in society daily, we witness these things every single day of the week on social media.
You do.
I mean, step 2 is most definitely, I agree, it's Instagram, Facebook, and everything that comes with it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Social platforms.
Check. It says, appeal to all the senses. Use incense for scent, soothing music for hearing, colorful charts and graphs for the eye.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You might even tickle the mind. Wow. But here's another, let's go back another paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
Not only will this keep, I'm sorry, the best way to do this is through theater or other devices of its kind. Surround yourself with luxury. Dazzle your followers with visual splendor. Fill their eyes with spectacle. Not only will this keep them from seeing the ridiculousness of your ideas, the holes in your belief system. It will also attract more attention, more followers. Stay away from the critic, because the critic are those who are going to stand out and critique it. And then, I mean, some people may critique the hate, but at the same time, people critique to wake you up to, like, look, pay attention to what you're doing. It's not all that it seems. It may appear to look good, but everything that appears to look good is not good for you. It's all a facade, because what did it also say? You might even tickle the mind, perhaps by using technological gadgets to give your quote a pseudo-scientific veneer. You know, pseudo means false.
Absolutely.
So you're pretending.
Acting. That's absolutely right. It's just, to me, a perfect alignment of the society that we live in right now. It's spot on. You want to go to the next step?
Yeah, we can most def.
Okay, step number 3. You guys, there are a total of 5 steps, so stick around for all 5. Step number 3, borrow the forms of organized religion to structure the group. Your cult-like following is growing. It is time to organize it. Find a way both elevating and comforting. Organized religions have long held unquestioned authority for large numbers of people, and continue to do so in our supposedly secular age. And even if the religion itself has faded some, its forms still resonate with power, meaning even though the religion itself, like the values, the ethics, the virtues that come from it, the real substance of it itself, it may be lacking or it may be missing, but still people go to church. Still people volunteer. Still people tithe. Still people, get involved with it. Still people claim it. Still people pledge allegiance to it. Still people share it with other people. Still people give it. It's like telling somebody you're going to give them a gift and the box is empty. There's nothing in there. You're just going around passing, sharing. You're like, oh, I got gifts for days. I got gifts for everybody. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. And there's nothing. And to me, that is sad, because at some point, which one of us ever cared enough to open up that box to see that ain't nothing in there and to put it down? The lofty and holy associations of organized religion can be endlessly exploited. Create rituals for your followers. That's the second time I've heard that in this section. Create rituals for your followers. Organize them into a hierarchy, ranking them in grades of sanctity, and giving. And you understand that this is universities. This is Greek. What do you call it? Sororities and fraternities.
Yep.
This is any. This is the Masons. You understand?
Organizations.
Yeah, religious organizations where you go from being an associate pastor to the head pastor to the bishop to the whatever. You're the reverend, and then you're the pastor, then you're the bishop. All of these things.
Then the Hebrews, captain, general.
Exactly.
Like, so,
Yeah, military has implications everywhere in our society. This grade of sanctity. And then it says, and giving them names and titles that resound with religious overtones. Ask them for sacrifices that will fill your coffers and increase your power. To emphasize your gathering's quasi-religious nature, talk and act like a prophet. You are not a dictator. After all, you are a priest, a guru, a sage, a shaman, or any other word that hides your real power in the midst of religion. I'm not going to deal with this book today. I mean,
in other words, be slick.
Slick.
To emphasize your gathering's quasi-religious nature, talk and act like a prophet. You are not a dictator. After all, you are a priest, a guru, a sage, a shaman, or any other word that hides your real power in the midst of religion.
Right, because the real power is sovereign. It has nothing to do with religion. The real power is the power over the physical body, the church and the state, the physical body and the mind. And see, this is where we get all messed up. Where it says this hides your real power in the midst of religion. That lets you know religion is not the real power that you have. Your real power is your humanity, your freedom, your sovereignty is what that is talking about. Your real power, your power to create the reality that you want to live in. Religion does not dictate your reality, how you create it. Religion may guide you in how you create it, or maybe depends on how much you allow your religion to guide and dictate for you. But your real power is in you being able to consciously and intentionally create a reality, I should say more accurately, to co-create your reality with this universe, however you see fit according to your free will. And religion will teach you that you have free will. So when you want to understand your real power, that's where it's at. It's not in the religion. It's what the religion is. The religion is trying to guide you through, or guide you to, I should say.
Wow. You took the words right out of my mouth.
This is, these things are biblical, but they're more spiritual.
Most deaf.
Let me know if you want to move on.
Nah, let me
hold on to it.
Because there's something here. It says, and if the religion itself has faded some, its form still resonates with power. The lofty and holy associations of organized religion can be endlessly exploited. Create rituals for your followers, organize them into a hierarchy, ranking them in grades of sanctity, and giving them names and titles that resound with religious overtones. Ask them for sacrifices that will fill your coffers and increase your power. There was something I was thinking of. This type of structure most definitely is how you control masses of people. When you tell them, if you, like it says, be a guru, be a priest, because these individuals whoever is various people, at the same time they present themselves not to be dictators, but they are. Because if you speak against Pastor so-and-so, God gonna strike you down.
Oh yeah, don't you ever speak bad on the pastor.
If you speak against my authority, God gonna take care of you. He gonna handle you. It happens when you ask those questions that you can ask that they can't answer right away. What they'll do, they'll vilify you. They'll make it to where you're the bad guy, you're the troublemaker. Because now all of a sudden you put somebody on the spot, and you now all of a sudden you're on, and not even realizing you may have exposed somebody without even realizing you exposed them by the question you asked. It could be all a hustle, the coat hustle.
Agreed. Agree. That's
So,
exactly the goal, to sit there and capitalize off of these veils, capitalizing off of the unknown.
capitalizing on people's insecurities.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If people cannot find security in our society because they can't find truth, or I should say they're not necessarily looking for it, or they don't know what to look for. So, there are a few layers of things that cause us to be in a place where we're not even aware of these things going on around us. All we see is the religion itself. We don't see what's hidden in it until we have to live through it. And I think that's what's happening with our people, is that we're graduating from religion because we have lived through it long enough. It's been a few years, a few centuries since we've been given religion. And, it took us even a little while longer to learn how to read it. And then we really started from ground zero when it came to comprehension and learning and understanding when it came to religion. But I think that's the reason why we're coming out of it now, is because we've lived through it enough to recognize, at least some of us have lived through it enough to recognize that there is flaw, that there is reason to be a cynic to this school of thought, or to this organized religion, or structure of way of belief, or a system of belief. There is a reason to question it, and there's a reason to uh, desire more, because everything in this particular iteration of organized religion does not deliver on those promises. All of that, those promises of transformation and all of that stuff. The Bible says what's done in the darkness can't long be hidden, from the sun. That light gonna hit it at some point. And so these people been perpetrating this fraud on us all this time, but they don't realize we have the light. It's inside of us. You can keep lying to me all you want, but eventually I'm going to get smart enough trying to navigate my way through those lies to pinpoint the source. You understand? We know how to triangulate in the spirit. You can keep on lying to me, but I'm going to figure out the truth from all them lies, because I'm living through it. I'm having to experience. Every time you lie to me, I fail at something that I'm trying to do. And I learn through my failures. You see what I'm saying? And then I recognize, oh, what he told me ain't true. So now I got to go my own way to figure out what is true. You see what I mean?
Most definitely.
Our people are starting to come out of that coma, out of that sleep, because, we've been living through this. Old people like to tell you, you got to keep on breathing, baby. Because you say, Nana, I don't understand. Nana, I don't get it. And Nana will say, baby, you just need to keep on breathing. Because the longer you live, the more you will understand. And that is exactly what's happening to our people collectively right now. We've lived through this thing for a long time with these people, trying to sort our way through their lives. And we're starting to finally come out on top of it. Finally. Because we got the information now. We got the information, baby. We know how to read. You can't hold us back now. We know how to read. And we got the internet. We lit up. We lit. You ready for the next step?
Most def.
Okay. Where are we? Number 4. The 4th step says, disguise your source of income. Your group has grown, and you have structured it in a church-like form. Your coffers are beginning to fill with your followers' money, yet you must never be seen as hungry for money and the power it brings. It is at this moment that you must disguise the source of your income. Your followers want to believe that if they follow you, all sorts of good things will fall into their lap. By surrounding yourself with luxury, you become living proof of the soundness of your belief system. Never reveal that your wealth actually comes from your followers' pockets. Instead, make it seem to come from the truth of your methods. Ooh. This is painful. This is painful. If y'all are not hearing church out of this, my God, this is sad. Followers will copy your each and every move in the belief that it will bring them the same results. And they're, how do you say that? Imitative.
Yeah, imitative. That's
Yeah,
what I'm looking at.
their imitative. Okay, their imitative enthusiasm will blind them to the charlatan nature of your wealth. All right, this is super duper packed in there. Like I said, this all speaks mega church to me. By surrounding yourself with luxury, you become living proof of the soundness of your belief system. Never reveal that your wealth comes from their pockets, but make it seem like it comes from the truth of your methods. Oh, that's just doggish. That's dog stuff right there. You a dog.
Oh man.
That's a dog. There's no integrity in that. None at all. It makes me sick to my stomach.
There's a song. There's a rap song by one of my favorite rappers. His name is Saigon. He's from New York. And this one song is called Preacher. And this is the hook. It says, you ain't practicing what you preaching. You extorting this on the weekend. And I'm sitting up here reading this. There are so many people that I've known over the years who were paying tithes or who were giving money to the church and were barely making it. But they always believed they kept doing it.
Yep.
They'll get a blessing.
Something was going to happen for them.
This most definitely has personally affected me. My grandmother.
Yes. My grandmother too.
She was a faithful member.
Church.
She was a member for the last 27, 28 years of her life. Devoted. Constantly paying them tithes every time. On time.
Yes.
Didn't miss.
Yes, my grandmother too. She had them checks written out, post-dated.
My grandma went through struggles, barely having a hard time paying her electric bills, phone bill, rent. But one thing she always did, she paid that weekly, whatever it was. And I used to sit there and I used to watch. And she always believed that if she did it, eventually all her troubles eventually will be solved.
I knew that my grandmother.
Unfortunately, my grandmother, she passed on. It's back when I was about 18. I'm 34 now. And one thing I will say that the church that she was a member of, yes, they did. They took care of the funeral arrangements. They sure did. That's one thing I can say. For her being such a lifelong member, they actually took up and took care of that. Nice. Which really shocked the family. Shocked our family because we weren't expecting that. But they did. And my mom and her siblings were able to take care of everything else they had to take care of. But I've heard stories of people being dedicated to churches for years, paying tithes and paying this and donating this and giving that and getting nothing in return.
At all. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. My grandmother gave me a story about a woman at her church. My grandmother was also a very faithful tither. I used to always sit back and wonder to myself what I could have done with all that money if my grandmother had invested in me like she invested in her church. Like if she was sending me that money every month. You know what I'm saying? Like her granddaughter who was trying to run a business and do everything. Now, don't get me wrong. My grandmother did invest in me. But I could tell that church definitely had way more importance over what I was doing or what I was becoming. You understand? But she gave me a story about this woman that went to church with her who was her friend. And my grandmother told me that this woman also was having troubles with her bills. And she was in church one day. They said, have faith that God is going to provide all your needs. And, you just need to believe if you come down here and put $100 on the altar or something. They gave a number. She went down and put the money on the altar and believed that she would, get some kind of return from her throwing this money on the altar. She went home and her car got repossessed because that money she threw on the altar was her car note money. And her car
Wow.
got repossessed. And my grandmother was like, "What? Why did you do that?" And she was like, I'm believing. I'm believing that I'm gonna get this return." And of course, that return did not come. Sure did not. It did not come on time.
You know, years ago, it was about maybe, this is back when the mother of my children was living.
Wow.
I'll say about maybe 2014, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And we were attending church. Around this time, I had left the church years ago. I was doing my own Bible study and I was doing teaching and building with others. So I decided to go to this church locally where I stay at.
Mm-hmm.
And I was helping out with the Bible studies and speaking to the young men at the church and things of that nature, just doing my best. And one Sunday, the minister there was talking about how the church was having churches doing okay, but they could be doing better. And this is right after the tithes and offering collection place went around. And then this minister went to having this long speech. I could be doing better, and I mean we're fine, but we most definitely would like to have a little extra. I mean we all would like to have a little extra. And again, I'm sharing with you people. I'm not going against. I'm against the systematic rule of oppression, which is religion. Religion is a tool that the system uses to oppress people. So I'm not going against the principles and the foundation that is written in the word. I'm going against how people abuse it. And this is abuse right here. Check this out. Peep gang. So this minister, she was talking about how she was having some struggles, and most definitely she would like to see if people would give her a couple of dollars. And if you want to be a blessing to her, you can most definitely do that. And she went into her purse and pulled out these envelopes. I call this the envelope hustle. The set apart envelope hustle. Check this out, sis. And she said, and these are her words, I was talking to God, and we were having a conversation, and he said that if you needed some help, have the people put money in these envelopes. But you got to put some in it because these envelopes are specially blessed and prayed over.
Oh my goodness. That's like the holy water. Them people selling holy water, selling anointed oils, and
I couldn't believe it when I heard it. I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" And then, so what happened was, people had already paid tithes and offerings. And this is a small church. It was a small church, just in a small little building, probably about maybe 50. I'd say about maybe 30 members. Maybe normally it's about 50 people, but today it's maybe about 30 members on this day. So everybody has already paid tithes, but now all of a sudden everybody going to their purses, going to their wallets. They pulling out 10s and 20s, and they're gonna volunteer to get an envelope so they can get a special blessing for blessing her. And she's telling people, you gotta put some in it, because if you don't, God gonna get you, because this is a specially blessed envelope.
God gonna get her behind for being an especially ditzy person. I don't understand how you can put that kind of karma out into the universe. That kind of energy, I should say. I don't know about karma. But to me, those are the type of things that, like I said, I think we would do a lot better in our society in general, just as a collective, if we knew better. I mean, I feel like if you wanted to give money to something that was going to help your community, go find a crowd-funded business venture to support. Go and find a young entrepreneur or somebody with a good idea to start giving money to every month. Somebody that just started a business, or go into find one of those apps or something where they do crowdfunding. The Tulsa Real Estate Fund is a good one. Give your money to something that if you just want to blindly give it to something that has tangible value to the community. Something that's really going to serve the community, not just have the look or the image of being a service to the community. You want to go to the next one?
Yeah, we can most definitely go to the next, but it's just the things that people go through, or the things that people will say just for a couple of dollars.
Yeah.
Like that doctrine of prosperity. Sow a seed, and you get the increase. Drop $100, and you get 10,000. Or pray. It's given the God. It's given the people who actually take it serious a very bad look. There are people out here who are set apart, who are actually living and applying these laws or this lifestyle or the Holy Spirit that's talked about in the scriptures. People are applying it, and I see them progressing. And I see that these ministers and these mega multi-million-dollar preachers who have these big congregations, they are making a mockery out of the people who are truly set apart, who are not looking for no attention, who just want to live day to day and continue to build their own personal relationship with the God they serve.
Agree.
It's giving people such as myself and various other people who try daily to walk right, the narrow path. It makes us all look bad when we hear these stories. And these preachers and these individuals, they get away. They get a free pass. They get a slap on the wrist. Nothing happens.
That's very true. But you know what? At some point, I think people will start to realize that they're being played. And I mean, I was talking to my sister earlier, and I made a statement to her like that. You know, sometimes it's just ridiculous when people just won't hear. And she was like, girl, everybody is not going to make it, you know, and that's something I have to constantly remind myself as I move through my life journey, is that everybody's not going to make it. Everybody's not going to get it. Everybody's not going to want it. Everybody's not going to receive it. Everybody's not going to seek after it. So I have to remind myself of that all the time. Many are called, but few are chosen.
That's most definitely true.
That's just how they operate. You ready?
Yep, most definitely.
Okay. The step number 5 is set up an us versus them dynamic. Ooh, once again, very indicative of what's going on in our current culture. You don't even have to go much further than that to understand what it's saying. Set up an us versus them dynamic in the culture. The group is now large and thriving. Okay. A magnet attracting more and more particles. If you are not careful, though, inertia will set in, and time and boredom will demagnetize the group. To keep your followers united, you must now do what all religions and belief systems have done. Create an us versus them dynamic. First, make sure your followers believe they are part of an exclusive club, unified by a bond of common goals. Then, to strengthen this bond, manufacture the notion of a devious enemy out to ruin you. There is a force of non-believers that will do anything to stop you. Any outsider who tries to reveal the charlatan nature of your belief system can now be described as a member of this devious force. If you have no enemies, invent one. Oh my God. Given a straw man to react against, your followers will tighten and cohere. They have your cause to believe in and infidels to destroy.
Wow, we can most definitely.
Man, that's a powerful one. That's laden with implications in our society. It's laden with implications.
If you have no enemies, invent one. That is called crafty counsel.
Yeah. That's called the devil.
That's called
a created enemy that doesn't exist.
Yeah, invent one.
Yeah.
Look at the NFL players who were protesting not too long ago. Let's say about over a year or two ago.
Okay.
And you can apply all of that whole situation that Trump was doing, making the NFL players look bad. Oh, you're unpatriotic if you don't stand for the flag or if you don't sing the national anthem. If your hand over your heart and sing the national anthem and pledge allegiance to the flag, you are the enemy.
I agree.
And we'll just ostracize you, and we'll just character assassinate you publicly.
Ain't that something?
Enemy. There are the enemies right there. Them. Those NFL players. No, you know, the Muslims. They're the enemy. No, the Mexicans crossing the border. They're the enemy. They're taking all the jobs.
Oh, that reminds me. Oh.
People know that all the jobs are leaving the country and going into these leaving the country, going into other countries to force cheap labor. That's the other side of the story that people don't realize.
I agree. If we have the way you just described that reminded me of a philosopher named Saint Thomas Aquinas. Saint Thomas Aquinas talked about the fact that people sway like blades of grass. You can say anything, pointing them in any direction, and they will go like the wind blowing a blade of grass. And I fully envisioned that when I lost my person. But you guys, I think you understand. Oh, here he goes. Yeah, so I was saying I fully envisioned that when I heard you talking about the fact that people when they see and hear of these social enemies, you know, everybody jumps on to whatever enemy is presented in the public eye, like R. Kelly, all these different people that are getting drug out into the court of public opinion and having to pay with their lives. And, you know, it just, to me, it's indicative of how manipulated we are in our thoughts and our minds, because we personally hate the people that are being indicted. We personally have these wars that we're fighting for the cause of someone else, instead of fighting for our own causes and fighting for the things that we feel most strongly affect us ourselves. Because I mean, personally, R. Kelly and who he was sexually violating, while it's sad, it has nothing to do with me or the goals that I have in my life. So for me to be emotionally aroused by that, or, you know, most emotionally, anything emotionally affected by it, makes no sense. It's a waste of energy to even allow the mind to be occupied by something that does not further your mission in life or further you down that path of your life journey.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Now you kind of was breaking up that last few words you said.
Oh no, it's okay. I was done. Go ahead with your thoughts on it.
Nah, like you said, to create a social enemy is most definite. This fifth one this set up a us versus them dynamic. Because the goal is to have the followers to believe there's nothing better than what they're into already. This quote, this following, this belief, this organization, this standard, there's nothing better but this. And if you're not with it, then something is wrong with you. If you're on the outside of this circle, then you are the enemy. It says, let's see, to keep your followers united, you must now do what all religious and belief systems have done. Create an us versus them dynamic. First, make sure your followers believe they are part of an exclusive club, unified by a bond of common goals. Then, to strengthen this bond, manufacture the notion of a devious enemy out to ruin you. This is crafty muscle.
Right. It is crazy because if we don't pay any attention to the enemy that is being suggested, then it has no power to ruin anything. But we believe in it, so we give it the power. Sadly.
Like a lot of Hebrews, not all Hebrews, but some of them, their most common, their favorite person to blame everything on, Esau.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Esau, the white man the devil speaks of.
oh, goodness
Blame
gracious.
him.
Mm-hmm.
It's his fault. He did it. They even have the nerve to say certain things in their Bible that they read, the King James Bible, which I do read, but I don't subscribe to as my. Um, it's not my other text that I use, but they will even go far to say just to win an argument and to make it seem like that their doctrine. Because that's the one thing about a lot of Hebrews. It's not that they defend the Bible. They defend their doctrinal belief or their stance. They'll mess around and say, when it comes to the virgin birth of Christ, the white man put that in there. Well, hold on. If the white man put the virgin birth in the Bible that you're reading, then why are you reading it? If he's the devil, if he's your enemy, if he's this one person that's your quote, that your group is if he's your enemy and he's the one that you are telling people that you're better than, and he's the one that's causing all these problems in our community, why have you allowed him to go into your book and put that in your book?
Right. Why are you putting it in your mind?
If the white man put it in there.
I agree. I mean, for me, I take in information from all sources just because I know that I have the wisdom to be able to differentiate. But you still do have to be very careful about how you are reading and allowing yourself to sort of take in information, because if you don't know how to tell that truth from a lie, it makes it exceedingly exponentially more difficult to comply or to have these understandings of what's going on. So I think at some point we're gonna have.
I can barely hear you, sis. I can barely hear you.
And my phone is ringing. My phone ringing. But yeah, I think for us to just get that deeper understanding, we are going to have to stop for a moment and just realize that we're chasing after nothing. All we're doing is wasting our energies running in circles, when we're paying attention to what Caucasians are pumping out on their media systems. I mean, I feel like right now we have enough understanding of technology and networking systems that we can create our own networking systems, especially communication networks. We definitely don't need any help doing that, especially because we have plenty of information and things that need to circulate within our community from our community. And so, we definitely need to start thinking about that instead of listening to whatever or feeding into whatever is coming out of the communication systems, the media and other, television, other formats. Especially, things like the government pumping out propaganda, making you think certain things in certain ways, like making you think that Africa is poor for one example, or making you think that vaccines are healthy for another example, or making you think that meat and dairy is healthy for another example.
Hello, sis? You're
Yeah.
breaking up real bad.
I haven't really moved. I'm not sure if I'm still sitting in the same spot. Can you hear me better?
I hear you better now, yeah, because at first I was like, well, I don't know if is she even talking still, because I can hear your voice, but I couldn't hear a word you were saying.
Oh, okay, yeah, but I was just saying that we have we have a need for us to be able to communicate in our communities to ourselves, and so we really need to stop paying attention to what's going on and what's coming out of these capitalistic government organizations, these bureaucratic organizations, where they're really focused on really focused on sustaining the European business model of capitalism, of dirty politics, and failing to be eco-friendly. This is the European model. They have a complete disregard for certain things, disregard for life. And so we need to start recognizing that system is corrupt and has failed. And so we need to stop ascribing to it in as many ways as possible so that we can create new things for our people to ascribe to. We simply need to stop looking to the Caucasian for our necessities, whether that be entertainment, whether that be financial services, whether that be community services, whether that be health services, whether that be administrative services, because that's all the government provides. Education services, you understand, technology services, that's all they do, is they provide services. And if we can provide those services for ourselves, which we can, we don't need to continuously run after the enemies that they face or become a part of their system altogether. We can just simply say, you know what, I can do that system a lot better. Let me go over here and build up my own media empire. Let me go over here and build up my own education system. Let me go over here and build up my own political structure, because it's just a business. All of it is just a business. So if we become cognizant of that fact, we can start to move with it. If you can start a business that does government services, so can we. We can do that too. And I say that a lot because I hope that the repetition of it will sink in somewhere, and people will start to move with that frame of thought. If they can do it, we can do it too. And not only can we do it, but we can probably do it better. Not going to say probably. I'm sure we can do it better. We just need to start conceptualizing our individuality, our identity, and our power. If we knew that we could run our own government, we would be organizing into a government right now. But because we don't feel like we can do it, that's why I feel like I don't see one. I know I feel like I can do it though.
I agree.
We're getting there.
We have to get to a point to where it's time for, I would say when it comes to our people, for so long we've been so complacent.
Mm-hmm.
We relied on others to do things for us. We've allowed the system, or what we do, we sip the Kool-Aid of, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this for you, and we're going to give you that, and that, and that, and that. And all of a sudden, we vote, or we go and we support. And all of a sudden, when it's time to pay up, or when it's time for us to get that what we were promised, it never happens. Right now, everybody's talking about reparations. And I was talking about it with a couple of brothers not too long ago. And I was being very truthful. And my words were not received. And I said, we'll never get it. Not under this systematic rule. Not under this power structure. We will never get reparations. And when I said that, all brothers got all butthurt. And they were mad. They want to throw tomatoes at me. Well, tomatoes ain't the word. They probably want to kill me for saying that.
Mess. That's a mess. Speaking of truth.
Because the conversation is all of a sudden now popular. Now all of a sudden, certain Democrats want to use it to get votes or to get some type of momentum to go up the standings and to be the number one candidate. As you can see, when it comes to the so-called Democrat, whether it be a progressive or a corporate Democrat or whichever, however, they're all the same to me. They just wear different colored ties, in my opinion. But still, they all have some type of, it's like an unspoken pack amongst them. When reparation comes up, play semantics.
Every time. Dancing around it like a doggone hip-hop dancer. One of them Beyonce background dancers. Just dancing around the question. And the facts.
Most definitely. Play games with that one. Make it seem like you don't know what that actually means. Play the role. What does that look like? What do you mean by? Is that a check? Or is that benefiting people of color and the people of color in their community? communities?
Mm-hmm.
Is that putting more finances into the black community? Is that putting more finances in the brown community? What does that look like? Are you talking about reparations for black people, or are you talking about for all peoples of color?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. What about the LGBT, the lesbian,
Mm-hmm.
gays, bisexuals, transsexuals? What about them?
Mm-hmm.
That's the game they play.
Mm-hmm. It's always a dynamic, I feel like, where they want attention more so than they want righteousness or truth. That whole entire group. It's, to me, not about the righteousness of it. It's about the flamboyance, because I feel if the real goal was for righteousness, why wouldn't something so private as your sex life, why would it not remain private? Straight people don't go around talking about who they have sex with. It's like, so what are you doing it for?
You know, a couple years ago, you heard it. I'm pretty sure, and you're out there in Atlanta, so I'm pretty sure you may have heard this term.
Mm-hmm.
Being homosexual or being gay, that's the new black.
Really? I have not heard that.
Well, I know out here in California, one thing, I'm in California, for those who are listening, and one thing about California, this is very common to see. You know, I mean, I'm not speaking out against people who are living that lifestyle. If a person chooses to be that way, that's their business.
That's true.
But I don't like what the media is doing. But California is very liberal. Very liberal. And the liberal way of thinking is that you have to include everybody, even those who have a different sexual orientation than others. So, when we talk about social justice or social rights or civil rights for people, now all of a sudden we have to include the gay community. We have to include them. A person should never be recognized because of their sexual preference.
Agreed. Fully agreed.
And to sit here and say that to be gay is the new black.
Yeah, that's just offensive.
That is like,
I'll cuss somebody out, they say that to me.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize it, but this kind of language came into play when Barack Obama was in office.
See?
It was a diversion. Because when it comes, let's be honest, everybody is in denial, but they know it. But when it comes to the American black or the Negro or whatever proverb they call us nowadays, we are known as the oppressed or the forgotten misfortunates. So to divert from talking about the black cause, what Obama was doing, what about the lesbians and the gays? They're Americans too.
Like a time for that.
Yeah. He just took us out the dynamic now. He just took us out there. He pretty much just physically moved us out the way.
I see what you're saying too, because it's like that all the time, where we are crying out and our cries are drowned out by the cries of another seemingly misfortunate group. And it's just like, come on now. Clearly, these people do not have a burning house situation like we do.
Exactly. It is an insult.
It is.
It is not a slap in the face. It's a spit in the face.
Yeah, it is. It's a kick, a spit, a punch, all of that. Because we really, truly are putting the truth in the face of the people, and to still be drowned out. It's like, God, how much more do you want? We're giving you undeniable truth, facts, things that can't be denied, and you can, see and observe the truth in what we're saying, and you still insist on your ignorance of it.
Yeah. And that was the language that Barack Obama was I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to say term. I'll just say when he was smiling fake years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And everything was so fine and dandy because we actually had a black family in the White House. Um, Another rapper by the name of Cannabis, he said around the time of Barack Obama was in office, he said they put the black family in the White House so they could take away the rest of us. They could not take us all out.
Mm. Mm.
And a lot of people didn't. A lot of our people didn't really realize it, and I think to this day they don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
We are in worse conditions than ever as a whole.
I agree. Yeah, as a whole, yeah. I think that with the release of content like the City Girls, we are in really huge trouble. I think the City Girls could fully, just single-handedly throw between them and Cardi B. They could together take down and throw the entire course of our future because of what they're teaching to these young girls. Young women are essential to the future of our people. Essential. They carry the seeds of emotional intelligence that are more advanced than what we have right now. And if their emotional intelligence is blotted out at an early age by this type of trash and this content, they will never reach in time their full potential of spiritual alignment, identifying with who they truly are, and really sorting out those lies and those images that they're being fed through the music and through the culture that goes along with those city girl type of artists. And I'm just, it really saddens me to see it because I saw a video of these two little girls and they were rapping the City Girls lyrics word for word, verbatim, like it was just in them. And that's what I know, is that it is in them at that point. It's in them. If your baby girl can be talking about bouncing on a man's penis and she's not calling it a penis, talking about taking it in the face and swallowing it and licking the lips and all this other stuff, this nasty, freaky stuff. If your little girl can talk about it, then she can see herself doing it. And see, this is what we have to, we got to come against this stuff. It's just simply not an option for our girls to be under that type of mass influence. It is a tragedy to see. It really hurts my soul. And if I could, change it, I would. But, all I can do is my part. And all we all can do is the part that we can play. So we just have to remember that when that stuff comes on, when that trash comes on, turn it off.
But see, this is talked about. It was a book. It was years ago. The Willie Lynch theory.
Oh yeah, everybody should be familiar with that.
And there was something in there. It's been a long time since I read it. I think I need to get it again. And I have a teenager now, and it's about time for her to really start looking into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I have an 8-year-old as well.
Mm-hmm.
There was something in there to where the point I'm making is that you see in America what they've done to us black men.
Oh yes.
We're emasculated and we're vilified and
Yes.
everything else that goes with it.
Yeah.
So what's left is to allow our women, our sisters, to defend for themselves.
Mm.
And so the only opportunities that our young sisters have is to whore themselves out, to be an entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they magnify.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they put on the scope. That's what they put on the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Shake your ass, twerk,
Mm-hmm.
do all the things that are supposed to be meant behind closed doors. Do it publicly. Make the black woman out to be a sexual toy.
That's right. And the man values her for nothing more than that.
And you just brought up those individuals, the Cardi B's and various others.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or most definitely, they either don't have a blown hell clue to what they're doing, or they don't give a damn.
All they know is they got money bags.
Yeah, well, it's one of the two, and I'm more so thinking that they don't realize what they're doing, and they don't give a damn either.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think it's both.
Because we're Look at R. Kelly, for example. All the things I'm not justifying what he's done. That's not what I'm saying here. All the things that he's been doing over the years to little girls, that is most definitely uncalled for. It should have not gone on for that damn long. That's crazy that you live in a state or you live in a country with laws that see this type of behavior going on. They just let it happen. They let it slide. They let it slide. They let it slide. And all of a sudden, they get you.
I agree.
Now, I don't know the details on Bill Cosby's situation, but as you can see, when black men are doing these things, or when they are breaking the law, or when they're doing these immoral things, they're promoted to be the worst human beings on earth.
Agreed.
But when it comes to the sisters, they allow the sisters to defile themselves as if it's okay. Like that, if you ain't defiling yourself, if you ain't twerking, if you ain't breaking niggas off and all this kind of stuff, you just ain't in it. You behind. You got to get with it.
Yep. Come on, ladies. Everybody out to the front. We got money in the front. You remember that on Players Club? Did you ever see Players Club?
Yeah.
When they sound that little siren in the back of the strip club and they be like, oh, it's some money up front. Y'all, come on, girls.
That's crazy. This is the culture that our people have embraced. This is the death culture that does not promote, that does not look good in the future.
At all.
You're living for the moment. You're not investing in your children. We're not investing in our communities. A lot of us don't even have enough to even start to try to invest. We don't know how.
Yeah, because we so busy in the show, in the hamster wheel. You can't care about anything else other than keeping up with the images that you've portrayed. You know, if you're faking your acting, you can't break your character.
And guess what? It all circles back to a cult-like following.
Yep. It sure does.
Look at the new trend that they're starting with female rappers now and entertainers. As long as you got a certain skin tone, that's another conversation one of these days we should talk about light skin supremacy.
Yes.
Now all of a sudden, if the sisters, you got a certain skin complexion, and if you got and your thighs are a certain shape, and your hips and your tail feathers a certain shape, that's what. Bend over and just shake it.
Yeah, that's a tragedy. Cause these be grown women. They be grown.
And a lot of them, as you can see, that the trend is the younger, the better. The younger, the better.
Cause they stupid at they just stupid. They just stupid and sexy.
Look at in this kind of machine and this kind of beast-like environment we live in. After a while, the beast will chew you up.
Agreed.
You're only good for maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes.
Right.
And you have to reinvent yourself. What's Cardi B in the next trend of female rappers going to be like in 3 years from now? This style, what more are you going to have to do to make yourself relevant? Are you going to have to file yourself out even more?
Right. What's next level after this? I mean, because we've been progressively making our way to this.
Yeah.
So what's next after this stage of the fuckery? Excuse my French.
Oh, it's all good. We're human beings.
Yeah. But how long does it take for the next level to come, and what in the world could that possibly be after all this? How much worse can it get? Huh?
New rap videos.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they basically doing that. nude now, but you can't really, you just can't. Yeah, I'm about to say you just can't see the lines in their vaginas. You can see everything else though.
Yeah, I mean, they're damn near there, though. They're
Yeah.
damn near there.
Yeah, you pretty much exposing your whole entire vagina. It's ridiculous. And half the time, they underwear be so small, then the butt so big, you can't even see the underwear. They might as well be naked.
Yeah.
It's a shame and a half. You ready to close out? I need to.
Yeah, we can most
Go.
definitely close out, sis.
Oh, okay. I just got to go get dinner started. Okay, well, listen, this has been a great talk, and I want everybody to share this if you have the time. Of course you have the time. It's just a click. Go on and share that. Go on and share this video so that some people can hear a little bit of, some excerpts from the book and maybe pick it up. I might make this available on my website for you guys, the 48 Laws of Power. Since I have it now, I like to make it available to you guys. I put my link in the comments for you to go on my website and get books. After you join as a member, you can download the books for free. Brother B.A., do you want to, share your social media pages and stuff?
Yes, currently you can reach out to me at Subversive Speech on Facebook. You can also reach me, B.A. Ben Abraham, on Debate Talk for You. I'm a host on the Man Up segment. You can go to Debate Talk, that's for the letter U. On Blog Talk Radio, we have a YouTube channel as well. Go to YouTube and put in Debate Talk for You. Sister Reese has been a guest on some of our platforms, some of our shows, and we most definitely appreciate the sister. And if you want to reach out to me on my YouTube, just go to YouTube, put B.A. Ben Abraham, and I most definitely will be there. You got any questions or comments or observations, you can reach me at 916-MACCABEE, that's MACCABEE @gmail.com. Again, 916-MACCABEE @gmail.com.
Perfect. All right, you guys. I hope that you'll hit that rewind button if you wanted to take any of that information down. It'll be there for replay. So just make sure that you reach out to both of us. Let us know what are your thoughts. Let us know what resonates with you. Let us know what you'd like for us to elaborate on. Brother B.A. and I have collaborated together, like he just said, a couple of times before, and we really have a lot of alignment when we're speaking and conversing about certain things. So we like to build on our discussions as we present to you. So let us know if you want to read more, or if you want to, hear more of this reading. We're probably going to be doing it anyway. So just check out for us, and maybe we can get on a schedule. I'm not sure. Brother B.A. and I will have to talk about that. But, if you guys respond well to it, of course, we'll continue to go ahead and bring you some more content. So again, you guys, ReeseRoberts.com. My name is Reese Roberts. This is Entertain the Thought, which is my podcast. I mean, really, I can't even say this is Entertain the Thought because this is not a regularly scheduled show, but it's the same thing. So y'all tune in, tap in, and make sure you share, and make sure you come back. You guys, good night.